Ladies and gentlemen, you all know very well that Balochistan is an occupied land and a victim of Pakistan's military aggression. The people of Balochistan have never accepted Pakistan's occupation and struggling for regaining their freedom. Although Pakistan's put forward many reasons of interpretation in this regard by distorting facts and hiding the truth, but reality is in its place and will remain in the pages of history. When an invader grabs the land of a nation and dissolves and enslaves its people, it distorts the history, culture, and literature of that nation and tries to replace it with the new one according to its colonialist need and choice, based on fabrication, untrue narrations, and unreal reports. Pakistan started this practice from first day after military occupation of Balochistan, and the process is continue spreading misinformation, concealing truth, and providing erroneous information to mislead the world and to continue its occupation till this day. Not only this, also the Pakistan's army is making wrong statements, wrong information, supplying to the educational and research institution, and everything and textbook from a school level to the universities are based on lies and fabrications about the history of Pakistan. Apart from this, due to brainwash and radicalization process in Pakistan for the last 70 years, there has been a deliberate campaign of misinformation regarding Baloch rights movements. Ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan was founded on false, unprinting, and to this day, this country is being run only on lies, duplicity, and dishonesty. Have you ever thought about the fact that the very names of this country, the name is Pakistan. So whoever suggested this name Pakistan for this geographical unit has committed a ridiculous mistake. The linguistic suffix istan has a Persian root and refer to the place or a land of a particular ethnic group of people. Afghanistan, Balochistan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Hindustan, Turkmenistan, and so on indicate the land of territory of the respective groups of people. What Pakistan indicates? The land of Pak? No. No ethnic groups of people can be found in the entire world named Pak. So, Pak is a Persian word meaning pure or uncontaminated. So the land of uncontaminated people, does it make any sense? Calling this geographical area Pakistan is a big duplicity and unacceptable. This name does not fit on it at any way. The geographical area that was named Pakistan after the parting of India has been dominated by civil bureaucracy and military dictators ever since. However, the so-called political parties have been utilized only for the facilitation by the military and the bureaucrats. It should be noted that all religious and parliamentary political parties in Pakistan works in accordance with the will and desire of the Pakistani army. Ladies and gentlemen, the stability of any society is threatened when the political system is not responsible for the need of the people, and the society consists of groups that claim special rights and privileges. If the special demands are not met, they are ready to use force. Pakistan is a real example of it. The military and bureaucracy wants to set aside all resources for themselves. Pakistan military dictators had laid the groundwork for the disintegration of the state from the very beginning. It was decided that the state would be run under a certain ideology based on this principle of supremacy of a certain class. For this purpose, a concocted assertion was made by the name of Pakistan ideology, which had nothing to do with the reality. The illegitimate allied class and powerful army circles imposed on this important state will never give up their narrative and specific style of government for the sake of their dominance, or oppose exploitation within Pakistan, are either kidnapped or annihilated in an unknown way. But outside the country, they try to interrupt them in one way or another through their hired agencies by spreading slanderous disinformation, as has been done in this way. Ladies and gentlemen, the Pakistani state and its tyrannical ruling army cannot acquit itself of the plight of thousands of missing persons by turning a blind eye to it. Just imagine, despite years of demands for the recovery of missing persons, 2,500 kilometer long march of women, children, and elderly from Quetta to federal capital Islamabad, and nearly 4,584 days of continuous sit-in protest neither awaken the conscience of the Islamic Pakistan nor has created feeling of sympathy in the heart of the Islamic army for the victims. Many little boys and girls have grown up in the protest camp for the recovery of their missing loved ones and have become youth now, but the Pakistani army and its nurtured politicians have become blind and deaf. Last month, a draft law on missing persons was labelled in Pakistan Parliament for debate, but surprisingly, that bill has been disappeared from the Parliament. Pakistan English daily Dawn published the statement of Pakistan's Federal Minister for Human Rights that the draft bill has been disappeared from the Parliament. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kashmiris, Sindhis, and Pashtuns organization have been struggling for the people's right and will continue to fulfill their responsibilities regardless of the accusation and slander from anyone. on behalf of Pakistan, but they reserve the right to defend themselves against baseless accusation and defamation attempts. A Baloch political organization and activists can never forgive themselves if they do not express and point out the pain, suffering, and atrocities of the people of Balochistan. When a uniformed foreign soldier from Jhelum, Pakistan, arrives in Gwadar, stops the native people in front of their home and asks for their identity, the Baloch People's Congress should have the right to report such strange incidents to the international media. When armed Punjabi soldiers from Chakwar comes in to Awaran, enter the houses in the darkness of the night, start searching the women and children by beating up them, Munir Mengal of Baloch Voice Association has very right to speak out against this. The World Baloch Women Forum has the right to protest the plundering armed legionnaires of Pakistan who violate the sanctity of will and war, entering homes in the dark of night and physically search sleeping women and children. When Hayat Baloch, a university student working on his farm in Turbat, is shot dead by a savage soldier in front of his parents, the Geneva-based Baloch political activist has a duty to report the brutal incident to the international press. Can we call them someone else too? Why does the foreign looted troops in the darkness of night enter in houses of local people, violating the sanctity and the sanctity of the will in war, expect that they will be welcome? Ladies and gentlemen, all repressed nations in their organization under the oppressive rule of Pakistan reserve the rights to knock on the door of court of law to protect their reputation from baseless allegations against them. It is highly reprehensible to call organizations that are fighting for the right of their people as tool of someone else with intention of defaming them. Such allegations are insulting and unacceptable. What has been said in these defamatory statements is humiliating. This tradition of calling those who dissent an agent, traitor, infidel, or even blasphemer has continued for decades. And we are prepared to face such baseless and fabricated disinformation campaign by the hired Pakistani minions. I, on behalf of the Baloch People's Congress, strongly condemn military terrorism against the Baloch people and notice and request the United Nations and the European Union to take notice of the heinous human rights violation in Balochistan. I appeal for establishment of a permanent monitoring mission of United Nations and European Union in Balochistan to observe the brutal human rights violation and ensure protection on basic human rights of the Baloch people. This demand of the oppressed Baloch people should be accepted without any regard to state expediency, diplomatic compulsion, or commercial interest. I thank you.